Hi, this is Érika from Small Robot Studio. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to model a realistic human nose in Nomad Sculpt and how to adapt the same workflow for stylized designs. Hey, make sure that you are subscribed with notifications on. Otherwise, you might be missing out on the many tutorials that we release for free each week here on YouTube. First things first, I want to show you the pieces that make the nose. By knowing the pieces, we can vary them to achieve the look of any type of nose out there. I often see beginner artists representing the nose only with the bridge and the ball, completely forgetting about the glabella. It's a funnel shape that connects to the forehead, eyebrows, and the inside corner of the eyes. These shapes varies from person to person, which makes it a good landmark to play with when designing characters. From a profile view, the front plane points down. Again, some people may have steeper angles than others. Connected to it, there is the nasal bone, shaped like half a box. The hollow inside is the start of the famous hole of the nose in a skull. The sides below the nasal bone are part of the maxilla, a bone padded with muscles and skin, which transitions to the side with a long, soft slide. I often see these slides being represented as very short and steep. The only steep change is at the glabella next to the tear duct. But the sides are not a dramatic corner. Feel them on your face. They go quite wide, going past the wings of the nose, and the slide is soft. Let's move on to the middle section. Connected to the bone, we have the lateral cartilage. It's shaped like a boxy pyramid that tapers thin to the bottom and ends on a point. The connection to the bone is the widest area in the bridge of the nose. If you're going for stylized designs, maybe you'll abstract the nasal bone and this cartilage into only one shape, with no visible change of width. For realistic depictions, watch out for these marked corners before the slides. The ball of the nose connects like a puzzle piece. It's made of two pieces of cartilage. On some people, this division is visible, especially towards the bottom. For some others, it's quite concealed, so it just looks round. The last section of the nose are the bottom connections that lead to the mouth. The ball tapers thin toward the bottom center and hooks back. This area is called the septum. I often see it's represented with one connection to the center, but it actually has three connections. Two lateral ones and the center one. Looking at a skull, the bottom of the nose has a point. This is called the anterior nose spine. The center connection of the septum connects to it, and the other two connections to the sides. They are not aligned. The sides actually end up inside the nostrils. They create these bumps inside that lead to the side walls of the philtrum, the valley underneath the center of the nose. Of course, the depression of this valley starts where the septum connects with the bone. On the side of the ball, we have the wings. Their shape is similar to a cone. The base connects to the ball in the front, going round to the back and around to the lateral connections of the septum. It follows the same hook nature as the septum. This is important when designing the nostrils. They aren't just round holes. The last connection are the nasolabial folds, also known as the laughing lines. The volume starts on top of the wings, overlapping the maxilla side slides, and flows down parallel to the wings and around the mouth. Depending on the age and expressions, the fold is going to be more visible or concealed. I know this might not seem as part of the nose per se, but I doubt you'll be modeling only floating noses. Making clear connections leave no doubt on the location of the eyes or lips, which will make them fit together nicely. This diagram sums up all the pieces and the main planes. It might seem a bit complicated, but think of it as a slightly complex box with front, side, and bottom planes. More than perfectly defining each plane, look out for the following as rhythms. Over the nostrils and the ball, starting at the tear duct, following the slide to the wings, and from a profile view, from the forehead down in the glabella and out to the bridge. The ball might give an extra C-curve at the end. All noses have these rhythms and planes. Their proportion will vary between people, but they are there. With stylized designs, we'll either exaggerate the shapes or simplify them merging them. Let's get into modeling. I'll take as a reference these diagrams. I recommend you draw on top of your reference the rhythms and planes from at least 2 angles. Load your images into Nomad Sculpt inside the background menu. By the way, our Patreon supporters for this month will have access to a scene with each step of the process and the model of the pieces of the nose. To access the multiple rewards of the month, join us at patreon.com/smallrobotstudio or download this individual asset from our Gumroad store. Alright, I'll start blocking out the volumes using primitives with low resolution. First, a cube for where the nose sits. With the Move tool, I'll round the top slightly like a forehead and make the bottom more cylindrical like a skull is shaped around the teeth. Now I'll make a new cube for the glabella. Using the Snap Cube and my camera in orthographic view, I'll go to a perfect front and side view and make cuts with the Trim tool to shape it as a funnel. For the whole bridge, I'll make a new cube and trim it from the front and side. For the ball and wings, I'll make spheres with very low resolution and shape them with the Move tool and Gizmo. Above everything, prioritize having front, sides and bottom planes. With the main masses in place, I'll finish tweaking the base, getting the steep change in the tear duct, the soft slides in the maxilla, and a very rough laugh line. Once you're happy with this, select all your geometries with these checkboxes inside the scene menu and voxel merge with a lowish resolution. We're looking for enough resolution to work finer shapes, but low enough to make smoothing easy. Now switch your camera to perspective. With a combination of the brush, flatten and smooth tool, I'll get rid of these ladder steps and these polygonal looking cuts. With a thin inverted brush, I'll mark important landmarks, like the widest part of the bridge, the connection to the ball, the tear ducts, the maxilla slides, and, most importantly, the S-curve rhythms. Working from top to bottom, I'll define the planes making clear corners using a combination of crease, flatten, and clay. Remember, the bridge is not straight, but it changes width on each connection. If you need an extra hand smoothing, enable dynamic topology with low detail. You can quickly turn it on and off with this button on the side. Snap your view to the profile and enhance the silhouette with the Move or Drag tool. Overall, for proportion adjustments, these tools are the best. Don't forget to change your madcaps every once in a while to judge your shapes under different lighting scenarios. I'll now refine the connections to the sides, a dramatic steep fall towards the tear ducts and a nice long slide towards the cheekbones. Let's now work on the septum and nostrils. From the front, with the Move tool, I'll enhance the hook rhythm. I'll use crease for the corner where it meets the depression of the philtrum. With the inverted clay or brush tool, carve the nostrils. Don't forget the hook nature of the side of the wings. From the inside nostrils, carve the side connections of the septum, the ones that create the bump, and down to create the sides of the philtrum. Finish the depression at the center, creating the teardrop shape. Finally, starting from the top of the wings, build up the volume of the laughing line, overlapping the maxilla. From this point forward, it's only a matter of refining. The level of detail depends on the style you are going for. Don't forget to also judge your model zooming out. Keep track of the whole silhouette from the front, side, and even bottom. Voxel remesh again or use dynamic topology if you need more detail. Go higher when your silhouette works and your surfaces are smooth. Higher resolutions are harder to fix. Use them where you're ready for details like pores or wrinkles. So, here we go! The final result. That's it for this tutorial. If you find it useful, make sure that you leave a like so other people can find it. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, as we are bringing out CG and illustration tutorials every week. Become a patron and access tutorial assets, bonus content, a private Discord, and more by clicking in the link below.